What's up, guys? Juice here. I just got back from the UP backpacking Pictured Rocks and did about a 45-mile stretch, and I got a chance to try out the Fretless by Nashville Packs. So, since I just got back, I figured I would set up outside and just go through what I think of the pack, what it looks like, what did I put in it, and who do I think this is for. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So for the past 2 years, I've been using the Nashville Cutaway, both the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 pack that came out in 2022, and it has been the best backpack that I have ever used. So naturally, when Nashville Pack reached out and asked if I wanted to try their new Fretless pack, I obviously said yes. So for full transparency, Nashville Pack did send me this pack for free, but the overview and the details are all my own. So this is a first look at the Fretless pack. This is a pre-production pack that Nashville sent to me. It is not out yet. It is coming at some point in the summer of 2023. The final version may vary from the version that you're seeing here, but this is the version that I have. Now this is a 45-liter full feature pack. So it does have a hip belt that is removable. It has a single aluminum stay for a frame, and it is constructed of a Dyneema composite fabric as the waterproof durable material that the pack is built out of. So it does have the same shoulder straps that you can get, which are the running vest style straps that you can get on all of the packs that Nashville sells. It does have the at least the attachment points that you can have the pad attachment system. So I really like using the Gossamer Gear pad just to give you a little bit more comfort. And then also I use this for hammock camping to throw my stuff on, to sit around camp, all sorts of good stuff. So that's a nice feature. It has a giant front pocket that is not separated, which is kind of the norm for Nashville Packs. It goes all the way through. You could easily fit like a duplex. I put a hammock tarp in here. I put my Ultiplex tarp. All of it fit just fine. So it's a pretty massive front pocket here, and it actually also has their pocket within a pocket to give you a little bit more organization in the front. Giant spots on the side for multiple water bottles, and it does have the optional elastic closure system on the side here as well. As I mentioned, it does have a hip belt, and the hip belt is completely removable. It just has a little clip here, a couple clips on the side, and then you can adjust all of the different lengths that you would need for really any size person to be able to accommodate this hip belt. So you can adjust it here, and then it has a double closure system in the front. And what I found is that this hip belt was really comfortable. It really did help with the weight distribution, and it is really nice being able to dial it in as opposed to something that's just attached all the time. If you didn't want this, like I said, it is completely removable. You do not have to use a hip belt with this pack. There are not any pockets on the hip belt. Like I said, this is a pre-production pack, but in talking with Levi, who's one of the co-owners of Nashville Packs, they are going to be creating an option of some different sized pockets that you can choose to use or not use with the hip belt. So you can get some removable pockets to add on here. One thing you may notice as we're looking at the bottom, there is no fancy bottom pocket, which for me, kind of a bummer because I use that bottom pocket all the time. But as you can see, there is some little webbing down at the bottom here. So also in talking to Levi, he said that there's going to be an optional product that you can add on that is going to be a removable bottom pocket for those that still want to keep the bottom pocket. But having this durable Dyneema on the bottom, I think probably does help with the overall durability of the pack. But just to let you know, in this pre-production pack, there is no fancy bottom pocket. As you can see, or as I can't move this around, there is a single aluminum stay, so I will go through that in just a minute. But if you've ever used any of Nashville packs before, it's going to be very similar, except this is going to be larger in volume and is going to have the optional hip belt and the single aluminum stay. I think those are the main product differentiators versus the Nashville Cutaway, the Bridge, or the Tienda. Now, comparing this pack with the pack that I've been using for the last year or two, I've been using the Nashville Cutaway. This is the version 2 that's made out of the Ultra 100 fabric, I believe. It might be the 200, so don't quote me on that, but it's one of the Ultra fabrics. And this has been the best pack that I have ever used. So for me, my base weight typically ranges anywhere from 7 to 9 pounds. So this kind of gives me the perfect amount of volume in a small, compact package. And the combination of the amazing shoulder straps that they make just make this an amazing pack. But as you can see, when you line these up together, this pack is quite a bit larger. Like I said, it's around 45 liters. I can't remember what the Cutaway is. It might be about 35 liters. I'd have to check some of the specs on that. But just taking a visual look at it, you can see that this pack is pretty significantly larger, especially in the width of the pack. You can see that the Cutaway is more darted in design, and it is definitely narrower, where the Fretless pack is significantly wider. And one other thing to note, it is significantly deeper too. So when we put these packs on their sides, you can see that the Fretless is pretty significantly deeper as well. So if you were ever tried the Cutaway and you were nervous about volume, maybe you like to bring some extra clothing, maybe you really like extra food, maybe you use a lot of down materials, maybe you use a hammock, then maybe the Fretless would be the better pack for you. So as you can see, there are a lot of similarities to these packs, but also a lot of differences. But a lot of the core things that make these packs so amazing are all still intact, just in a larger package with the Fretless pack. So that now that we've gone over, at least some of the features and functions of this pack, I thought it would be beneficial to go through what I brought on this trip. And the reason is that typically when I'm using a base weight of around 7 to 9 pounds, I omit a few luxuries. And on this trip, the temps were supposed to be highs in the low 50s and lows in the 30s. And Pictured Rocks traverses part of the shore of Lake Superior. So this time of year, the water temps are around the 30s. When the wind comes off the water, it's pretty dang cold. So it's nice to have extra warm gear, not only in clothing, but also in sleep system. Also, the fishing is pretty fantastic with a lot of the inlet streams to Pictured Rocks. So I did bring some extra gear there. So because of the fact that the Fretless has so much extra volume and has the hip belt to support the extra weight, I decided to just go ham, bring a lot of extra food, clothing, and warm gear just to give this pack a proper test. So let's go through what I brought quick and how everything worked. So on this side, just a 1 liter water bottle. On this side, like I said, the fishing was good in Pictured Rocks, so I brought the Beartooth Tenkara rod. I think that it only weighs about just under 3 ounces for the pole. The case weighs a little bit more, but hey, when you got a hip belt and you got the volume, might as well bring the case because it does protect the fishing rod that's in here. Platypus water filter, stuff it in the side. And this is just the little bag for all the goodies for my Tenkara rod. So extra tippet, extra flies, and just a few other things in here that I'm going to need for fishing. So, like I talked about, massive pocket on the front, and it does have the pocket within a pocket that goes along the front. So within there, I've got my trowel and my bidet on this side, so kind of my poop kit. And then on this side, I've got my sunglasses, which go flat. These are Ombra sunglasses. And then my stakes for my hammock that I used on this trip. Under that, I've got my rain jacket. Under that, I've got rain pants, because why not? And then something I didn't use at all, but because it was supposed to rain, which it never did, I did decide to bring some lightweight rain mitts. The total all-in weight with all of my food, a liter of water, and all of the gear was somewhere around 22 pounds. And that's everything on the outside of the pack. Getting into the pack, this is just a little stuff sack. On the outside it has my suspension for my hammock. It's just my little ditty bag, toothbrush and all that kind of stuff. 20,000 milliamp battery bank with all the cables. And a few little ibuprofen. This is my cook kit. I have a 3-ounce fuel container in here along with a BRS stove. This is my 12-foot Dyneema hammock gear tarp with doors. This is my food bag. Most of it's cleared out. It was significantly bigger, but like I said, brought lots of extra food because I could. Just a few wrappers and things in there, and a couple things that I didn't quite get a chance to eat the whole time. Because we went fishing, I also brought a small titanium pan. This is made by Jetboil and has a little spatula that's attached to it. And the rest is all my warm gear. I have an Enlightened Equipment Torrid Apex jacket with the front pouch. I also brought a fleece, because why not? And actually, I really liked hiking in the fleece because it was pretty cold while we were hiking. So this is the Injinji Designs fleece with the hood. Main item here is the hammock. This has a quarter bug net, the cocoon that's zipped on, and a 45-degree top quilt. And the hammock actually has the insulation stitched in. This is the Superior Hammock by Superior Gear. This is a 30-degree rated hammock. And in the bottom I've got some Packs possum down gloves and some Injinji socks. All with a pack liner. And that's it. But as you can see, lots of volume in there. And while we're at it, we might as well look at the aluminum stay. So like I said, it does have a frame. It has a single aluminum stay that you can bend to suit your needs. So whatever you think is most comfortable, you're going to bend it to that, and that's going to change the back structure of the pack to increase the comfort and the shape of the pack. So just a single aluminum stay. And that's it. And the shoulder straps, one bummer part that I really like is carrying a fanny pack. And because this has a hip belt, I haven't used a pack for years that had a hip belt. I did not get a chance to bring my fanny pack. It's not a deal breaker, but what I did is I took the things that I usually keep in my fanny pack, like the phone that I'm shooting on, the microphone that's attached to it, as well as things like toothbrush, toothpaste, chapstick, my headlamp, Swiss Army knife, Bic lighter, all those kind of things. I stuffed in the shoulder straps. And to be honest, it worked really well. I've just been using a fanny pack for about the last 4 or 5 years, so it's a tough habit to break, but I didn't miss it too much. So after a first trip with the Fretless, what are my thoughts? So overall, I think this is a fantastic pack. I think would be a great pack for somebody to just get one pack to kind of rule them all, that'll be able to accommodate really any type of loadout that they're looking to do, whether that's spring, summer, fall, or winter. I think you can pretty much get anything you'd want into this pack just because of the size, the volume, the carrying capacity, and the fact that it has the detachable hip belt to be able to accommodate some of those larger loadouts. So I really thought it was extremely comfortable. That was definitely one of the positives. The shoulder straps, the running vest style straps, combined with the hip belt, made heavier loads really comfortable. So like I said, I only carried about 22 pounds with this pack, so I'm sure it can carry significantly more comfortably, but that's what I carried with this loadout. So comfort was an amazing part of this pack. The volume was another thing. It was really nice to be able to bring pretty much anything I could think of and carry that comfortably and have the volume to support that. I also really like the pack material. The Dyneema composite fabric was really good. It held up. The white is definitely going to get dirty. That's just the fact with white, with this material. So you can probably see there's a few different marks on it already. Not a big deal. It actually adds character in my opinion. But I think the pack is really, it's going to be really durable. And it is seam taped in the inside, so it's going to be very waterproof as well. I also like the single aluminum stay. It did give it some rigidity and didn't really have much of a weight penalty along with that. The front pocket was great. You can really hold a lot in there. I also really like the pocket within a pocket. That my other pack does not have either, so that's a really nice feature. And most of the other things are similar to the things that I love with the original Nashville Cutaway. Now, what are some things that I didn't really like? And these are going to be specific to me just based on the type of gear loadout that I have and the type of hiking that I do. So overall for me, I don't really need a hip belt. So I would probably not option this, or at least just keep it in the back of my closet just in case I had a heavier carry. Maybe I'm going out winter camping, maybe I'm carrying some extra gear for my kids. That might be a great option to have. But me personally, I really like having a fanny pack, so that really conflicts with having a hip belt. One thing I also really missed as well, the bottom pocket. I really love it on my Nashville Cutaway, and I would option to have the removable bottom pocket on this one if I had it. So I know that's going to be an option down the road, but I do wish that this pack had that. Also, this isn't really a negative, but really just for me, it's about the capacity. It can carry a ton, which is a great thing for most people, but my base weight is anywhere between 7 to 9 pounds, depending on the trip. So I don't really need all the excess volume. So that for me would be a little bit of a negative, but I think for most people, this pack is going to make more sense than some of the other packs, just because a lot of people don't have the base weight around the 7 to 9 range. Maybe they're at 10, maybe they're at 15, maybe they're at 20, and they're going to need something with a hip belt that's going to be able to carry more, something that's got a frame, something that's got more volume, and I think that's where this pack really makes sense. So overall, I think this is going to be a great option for most people. I would recommend it. I do need some more time testing it this year. I'm excited to get more miles on it, but overall, first impressions were great. Nice job, Nashville. I think you hit a home run with this pack, and I think this is going to be the pack in your lineup that's going to make the most sense for most people. So if you get a chance, I would recommend checking this pack out when it's released in summer of 2023. Feel free to drop me a comment if you have any questions about the pack. I'll answer what I can. If I can't, I'll point you in the direction of Nashville, and I'm sure they can give you more details then. So other than that, that's my first impression of the Fretless pack by Nashville Cutaways. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, juice out.